DonInLondon, hello. It's January 27th, 2009. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My substance, alcohol, in recovery then as a recovering alcoholic. My behaviour, trying to be perfect, and never so. And working so hard at being perfect, I never really understood what was going on around me whilst in the world of drink. And what do I know about drinking and life, and secrets and lies? Well, drinking in my life is a no-go area, like one day at a time. That's absolutely essential to me to try and find my spiritual truth, how to be open, honest and willing to get the best out of this day, not only for myself but for the people around me as well. So, I had to take a few deep breaths this morning, and part of the way I do that, because how am I feeling this morning? Very, very sad. Why? Because one hears things, gossip, and what can I do? Not much really. Gossip kills, it really does, as do secrets and lies, and those things which we have in us which are secrets do not help us with our ongoing program of recovery, because it requires openness, honesty and willingness to be doing the right thing, which is based on truth. And for me, God is truth, as Gandhi suggested, and God works through people. People tell the truth when they can, or often they don't tell the truth when they feel it might hurt them or others, and that's where I guess the nub is for me, the truth of now. Anyway, I go to AA meetings. I nearly stayed at one meeting but went to another one last night. I may be able to explain that a bit later. But at the beginning of every meeting of AA, the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, is a preamble. And just a reminder, I don't speak for AA, I just speak for me and what AA is doing for me on a daily basis. So, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. Does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And that's all to the good. But, we're all on a path. And the path in sobriety is about spiritual, emotional and physical well-being. And so spiritual well-being is based on truth of the here and now. And having gone to 2 meetings yesterday, one at lunchtime, which was very, very good, because it just enabled me to see another part of my old life and my new life being the best I can on a daily basis. But there can always be setbacks on a daily basis to what is going on around us, and sometimes we hear information and knowledge which is not helpful under the umbrella of gossip, because one of the things that gossip does do, it undermines relationships, or even past relationships, as we start to hear and unfold some truths which are told us. And the difficulty is, if we listen to the gossip, then we can undermine ourselves, our self-esteem, and start hitting out with ego, putting on a brave face, and being fearful of what people may think of us or feel about us. And the gift is in this program is if we just get some internal consistency around being open, honest and willing, we make life work one day at a time. And I use AA literature, this Daily Reflections book, to help me just get back on track, if you like, on a daily basis. And it reminds me in the morning that there are things in this world I am really powerless over, and I'm really powerless over other people, other places and other things, or people, places and things, even close to me. And for January 27th it says, freedom from guilt. Where other people were concerned, we had to drop the word blame from our speech and thought. When I become willing to accept my own powerlessness, I begin to realise that blaming myself for all the trouble in my life can be an ego trip back into hopelessness. Asking for help and listening deeply to the messages inherent in the steps and traditions of the AA program make it possible to change those attitudes, which delay my recovery. Before joining AA, I had such a desire for approval from people in powerful positions that I was willing to sacrifice myself and others to gain a foothold in the world. I invariably came to grief. In the program I find true friends who love, understand and care to help me learn the truth about myself. With the help of the 12 steps, I am able to build a better life, free from guilt and the need for self-justification. And I guess that's true, but don't forget, it's progress, not perfect. So freedom from guilt, who's ever going to be completely free from guilt? I don't know. But what goes well with freedom from guilt, shame, lies, is the ability to forgive why we may have told them in the first place. And in my olden days, did I suck up to the boss? Most likely I did, because I thought the boss had my best interests at heart. What I forgot was I was a human resource, a utility. And when you're called a human resource, it means you're not being measured as a person, you're just being measured as a utility. And in our lives, we can have people who we treat as utilities if we're not careful. We don't take account of their emotional, physical, and spiritual path for themselves. So if we treat people like utilities, then we devalue ourselves to the same level, or worse. If we're an ego, brave-facing and fearing life, then we can actually bring other people down to the same place of not being able to access the truth because we don't share it, not being able to be open, honest and willing because we are worried about what people will think, and we have guilt and shame around behaviour, even in recovery, which may be hindering our progress. And often I found myself in this place of ego, brave-facing and fear because I hear snippets of gossip which really do undermine me and my outlook and how I feel about people. And the trouble is, if you confront people with gossip, you can kill them, because they don't know where it's come from and they don't understand the context. Equally, I don't sometimes. So it can be very difficult to work out what to do. And the answer often is do nothing until some other grain of truth or two comes your way from whichever source happens to be right in front of you. That's a bit ambiguous, and it's got to be for reasons of preserving other people's outlooks and sensibilities. But as Bill sees it, for today, out of the dark. Self-searching is the means by which we bring new vision, action and grace to bear upon the dark and the negative side of our nature. With it comes the development of that kind of humility that makes it possible for us to receive God's help. Yes, it is only a step. We will want to go further. We will want the good that is in us all, even in the worst of us, to flower and to grow. But first of all, we shall want sunlight. Nothing much can grow in the dark. Meditation is our step out into the sun. A clear light seems to fall upon us all. When we open our eyes, since our blindness is caused by our own defects, we must first deeply realise what they are. Constructive meditation is the first requirement for each new step into our spiritual growth. And what is spiritual? Me, I've been saying it's the ability to cope, which is what an Archbishop said some time ago. I think it was Runcie, or it might have been one of the others. But that is it. What is spiritual? It's truth. And what is truth? And what is it? What is truth? It's what we see, what we feel, what we hear, what we know, and it's often based on facts, hopefully. Or if it's based on supposition or intuition, we're in trouble, because we're trying to imagine what the truth is. And all I can do on a daily basis is actually work with truth, the truth of now. And all my training and teaching in the past has always said, the real spiritual moment that we have, or the spiritual aspect of living, is in the here and now. It's seeing life as is, without denials and without filters, and without all those awful things sometimes that we have inside us called emotions. And also, spiritual is truth. Truth is as it is today. Sometimes it's ugly and sometimes we don't like it. So what can we do? What can we really do each day? What keeps us on the path of serenity? I guess it's to try and deal with the truth as best we can. Not make secrets. Not make issues. Not listen to gossip. Not listen to the inner voice which is saying, hang on a minute, I don't understand this, and I won't challenge it. Sometimes we need to challenge, and I don't know how quite just at the moment, but there are some challenges, and then I have to say to myself, let go and let God. Or God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and